Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening. I'm here to give you guys my first recap and first impressions on RWBY Volume 6, Episode or Chapter 1. I'm pretty sure if you guys have been doing your research throughout the months, RWBY's Volume 6 will be airing this fall. Anyways, this chapter or episode was pretty action-packed, not too bad. Although, a lot of things to come. Not to mention, I will talk about a little bit about the intro, which I believe to be a little predictable in a certain sense, but we'll have to see. If anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that it starts off with the action-packed scene, like fighting the Grim on the train, but eventually it'll go back to a certain scene with whatchamacallit, Team RWBY getting ready to go on the train, and then two playboys, which I'll call them like whatever they are, which I don't consider them worth remembering, trying to talk to Team RWBY and the other children. They go like, "Oh, we can help you out." I'm thinking in my mind, can you guys just shut up and stop acting all cool? Makes you look like, and making it look like all huntsmen and huntresses look like crack. Aside from that, there was a scene switch where Adam does return to the White Fang's headquarters, and most of the White Fang are really mad at Adam what happened in Volume 5. Now, if you guys remember in Volume 5, etc., Adam ditched his own comrades to their arrest, and they go like, "We're not gonna take orders from you anymore," and they even insulted Adam by saying that Belladonna girl got more balls than you do, you know? And this upsets Adam so much at the same time that he slaughtered them all. I'm thinking in my mind, this guy don't even give a about his own people, only himself. Well, it was already predicted that way, but I didn't expect him to actually kill his own comrades in cold blood like that. I mean, he did it to High Sienna Khan, that's for sure, but freaking hell, Adam. He freaking gets mad because he knows that Blake outdid him in a certain sense. Aside from that, speaking of which, Neptune and Sun say their goodbyes to Ilya and Blake, but beforehand, Blake is sad not to see that Sun's gonna go, but Sun's like, I'm a very bad team leader. I have to be there for my teammates and learn how to get things straight and going, So this isn't really goodbye forever. We're gonna see each other again. And Blake gave him a kiss on the cheek, and then so forth. And Sun and Neptune get ready to leave. I'm even surprised Neptune did not even say goodbye to Weiss or something. That guy looks like a major playboy too, but not to a certain extreme, maybe. Who the hell knows? But aside from that, as the episode chapter continues on, Crow sends a message to James, or a letter to James in the mailbox, etc., and they end up having to take a train to a certain location, which I forgot about. Yeah, but apparently they get attacked by Grim, and apparently these Grim looks like freaking chimeras or something. Those well, not exactly like chimeras, but like four-legged beasts with like a freaking serpent as its tail, as its attacker. And we all know where that and low inspiration comes from. Well, not too much of it anyway. Like I said, just a train action-packed fighting off the Grim. One guy ends up activating the turrets and only draws more Grim and endangers the passengers way more than he has to. What the hell? And Crow tells him to shut it off, you idiot. And then apparently after a tunnel comes by, we have to it that one of the guys got thrown off the train while the other one got injured, and apparently I expected his arm to be lopped off, because apparently the way how he injured it was really ridiculous, and I guess age really caught up to his butt since he hasn't been training often. Aside from that, we have to it that everyone will have to take separate ways again. John, Ren, and Nora will keep the passengers safe, with Ren using his semblance to hide everybody, while for John, he will help him amplify that, with Professor Ozpin taking over Oscar's body, explaining that the Grim are attracted to the relic, which I go like, oh my gosh, are you serious, dude? Although, the way I think about it, if they are attracted to the relic, which I may have an idea, but I don't really think it's really correct anyway. So, aside from that, they all took on the plan, and eventually Team RWBY with Crow and Oscar managed to like fight off the Grimm, but they got tracked. Yes, the train gets blown off apparently due to the leader of the Grimm, or well, the beast of the Grimm that led the attack on the train. Launched a freaking fireball, and Weiss had to use her powers to like get the train off track. Eventually, an old woman with cybernetic eyes or something says, "Wow, that was a close one." I'm thinking in my mind, what the hell are you even doing here, old woman? Etc. Of course, there is the scene where Blake, after she cut off the train, there was a scene of seeing Adam there. So I don't even know how Adam got there in the first place, but I got a feeling he's going to stick around and maybe cause some trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble, but one thing for sure, he's not going to let that go after what Blake did to him. So, yeah. Aside from that, the intro at the end gets played, and of course, like, I will, like, talk about it here and there. They're action-packed scenes, while I think there's a new Grimm appearing. Not to mention a mysterious character, which I think I know who it is, and Adam being involved, along with seeing, like, Hazel and freaking Arthur Watts and the rest of Cinder's team and Salem, etc. Yada yada yada, and of course some more action-packed scenes, and that strange woman whatsoever, and whose weapon and hand is covered up. Well, the weapon right there looks really familiar, so I think I will have to guess it myself. That weapon has to belong to her, which I will not say here. If you guys looked at the intro carefully and analyze it, you may have an idea who that person is. Not to mention her left hand's a little like covered up in bandages, even though that person might have covered her face, etc. and everything else. It might be a little like obvious, because I just saw the weapon in that intro and it looks a little familiar. I'm like, I think I know who that is. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to say it here, etc. I think it's already a little obvious. I mean, looking at that weapon, and not to mention her left hand's a little bandaged up whatsoever. And of course, I saw a little familiar hat in this intro, which I go like, it better not be him, because we already saw what happened in Volume 3, etc. But there's one character I hope to see soon, but we'll have to see. But aside from that, yeah, that's what the intro is. And of course, it ends up with Team RWBY and everyone else like staring into the distance, like solemnly getting ready for the wars to come. And of course, like, that's about it. Yeah, anyways, this first chapter and episode right here of RWBY Volume 6, it's action-packed, nothing more than that. Pretty sure, or pretty obvious to that certain extent. And then, like, some information here, knowing that the Grimm are attracted to the relic that Oscar is holding. Well, Ozpin and Oscar is holding. Of course, there were some scenes about Ozpin as well in the intro, etc., etc., etc. Not to mention maybe a lady and then staring at a certain statue and so forth. You get what I mean. I mean, like, those of you guys who like watch the chapter or episode, you will get the idea. But aside from that, it looks like things are getting on the move. Not to mention that weird old tentacle-like Grimm-like thing is like grabbing Crow and RWBY or something in that intro. Looks like to me that would be a new antagonist possibly for Volume 6. But let's not forget that Salem and their group are still on the move, so we'll have to see. Not to mention we saw Tyrion in this intro, so yeah, psycho Joker whatsoever, however you want to call him, who wants to see the world burn, is back in action. And I can guarantee they're going to come back for revenge or for that relic possibly. But we'll have to see. Aside from that, yeah, like I said, action-packed episode, train battle against the Grimm, and Adam being around, and much more. Yeah, looking forward to next chapter episode. Thought it was pretty slick looking, and hopefully it will continue on in a good way. I know I heard a lot of people like complaining, etc., about what's been happening to RWBY lately, but yeah, they got their critiquing points down here and there possibly. But aside from that, like I said, repeating myself again, looking forward to next chapter episode. So until then, I will see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot!